Overwatch is an FPS that came out from Blizzard earlier this year, I think in May. I've been pretty obsessed with it since then. It's all about a team dynamic, so it's less about the individual and more about building a really good team so that you can slay together. And it's also really nice because it's all it's constantly updating. Like the developers are constantly adding new material and stuff like that. So it's not just like a cut and dry game. It's like you pay for it and then you have this constantly evolving game. That's a really interesting aspect. Let's see, what else can I say? There's a new character coming out, I believe Tuesday, that we've been waiting for about 4 months now. Her name is Sombra, and it's all been hidden in Easter eggs and stuff like that. So we're really excited to finally get to play her. She looks really awesome. I've seen some developer commentary and gameplay from her, and I can tell she's probably gonna be my new main, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's
So-
Overwatch. I don't really know what else to say, but
So issue-wise, what issues would you say you face while playing Overwatch?
I mean, people get kind of salty sometimes. It's all about competitive, which is your ranking amongst other people. But even in quick play, where ranking doesn't actually really matter, when you're playing against other players, people get really angry really quick.
Would you say being a girl makes your experience different?
I mean, maybe a little bit, I guess, just because I mean, when I first started, friends were suggesting it to me. I started I made my gamer tag out, and it was Hurricane Janie, because that's just what I use for everything. And people were kind of discouraging me from that, just because it immediately tells people that I'm a girl. So I mean, there might be some kind of attention there, but I know other girls online that I play with, so definitely fewer than guys, but that's kind of what you get when you're playing or introduced to a hobby that's very male dominated.
Have you ever had any negative interactions, like people oh wait, you're a girl, that's exciting?
Yeah, well, not necessarily negative, not you're a girl, get out of here, but it is very much, I think they consider it almost like an exotic thing, which can be kind of annoying if you want to be taken seriously. So, just even in regular day-to-day conversations, if I mention that I'm a girl gamer to a guy, it becomes less, talk of a mutual hobby. It's more this almost fetishized kind of thing that's that's so unique, yeah, it's not on the focus of the game. It's all about the fact that I'm a girl, which is not all that fun.
So it'd be like a gender normative, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it is very gender normative, and it's not like girls are actively being pushed out of the community, but it's very much the way it's portrayed is just that girls are not inherently welcome, because it is a male-dominated industry, just by nature. So I mean, just perpetuation in media and everything. It's not something that just immediately comes to the mind of a girl. That's something that I can do. Especially all the gamers that are you get famous off of YouTube and Twitch are primarily guys. So first 3 major league gamers that I think of would be PewDiePie, Markiplier, and Game Grumps. You think of something like that, and a girl never comes to mind. It's like sports or football or something like that. So I mean, it's just it's one of those things where girls just it's not exclusionary explicitly. No one's saying you can't do this because you're a girl, but implicitly there's no representation for women in really the gamer community.
So last question, can you talk about D.Va and the parody?
D.Va is a character in Overwatch. She was my first main, and she is canonically in the game lore, girl gamer. She was a famous StarCraft player. So she is, I will say, like many girls in video games, not that play video games, very sexualized, very
Like Tomb Raider.
optimal physique.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, but she is, it is kind of a breakthrough archetype because, she, especially by fans, is taken as like this goofy character that's not necessarily, like the perfect girl who also happens to play video games. She's, this Mountain Dew chugging, Dorito eating, little gremlin. So, I mean, I think that's really cool, is that Overwatch specifically is really making strides in welcoming women into the gaming community.